Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News on WLUW 88.7. I'm Erica Angelis.
And I'm Karis Hustad. Here's our top story. Chicago's winter weather advisory expired at noon, but airlines are still playing catch-up. At O'Hare, airlines reported delays averaging 45 minutes for all this morning. More than 150 flights have been canceled. On the ground, roads are looking pretty clear. Here's Abigail Kleckler with more.
What's being called the Saskatchewan Screamer proved less severe than expected. Out here on Michigan Avenue, it's quite windy, but there's really just slush on the ground. Downtown did not receive the forecasted 4 to 6 inches of snow, but some of the northwestern suburbs were hit with as much as 8 inches. The morning commute was slow, but now traffic appears to be moving well. People are bundled up with temperatures in the 30s, but the weather has not kept some from getting their shopping in today. I'm Abigail Kleckler on Michigan Avenue reporting for WLUW 88.7.
Thanks, Abigail. Overseas, foreign policy leaders from around the world gathered in Tunisia's capital on Thursday for the Friends of Syria conference. Representatives from over 60 countries and organizations are expected to call for an end to violence in Syria, determine ways to get aid to the Syrian people, and implement a peaceful, non-military solution. The delegates include U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who said on Thursday that the Syrian opposition would gain strength as pressure on President Bashar al-Assad continues.
Long Live Islam is the chant being heard across Afghanistan today in the wake of 12 deaths. Chaos erupted earlier this week after copies of the Quran were burned at the NATO military compound in Bagram. Afghanis are now calling for the trial of U.S. officials who reportedly burned the holy books. Today's deaths make this the bloodiest day since the protests began.
Bad news for the U.S. Postal Service. The agency is pushing ahead with planned cuts to more than 250 mail processing centers around the country. This move will eliminate roughly 35,000 jobs. The Postal Service has seen a 25% drop in the amount of first-class mail since 2006 and says it will face $18 billion in losses by 2015 if nothing is done.
One sports headline has everyone talking today. The family of former Chicago Bears player Dave Duerson filed a wrongful death lawsuit on Thursday. The suit alleges the NFL covered up the dangers of concussions that led to Duerson's suicide in 2011. Duerson suffered 3 concussions during his 11 years playing pro football. Are there grounds for this lawsuit? Joining us in the studio is WLUW reporter Ashton Mitchell with more on the story.
I spoke to Timothy Epstein this morning, who is an attorney and professor of sports law at Loyola, about the Duerson lawsuit. He said when you're an NFL football player, you have a higher assumption of risk. When you're walking onto the football field, you know you're going to get hurt. It's a higher assumption of risk than the ordinary citizen. You don't expect to be hit by a 200-pound football player when you're walking down the street. But he went on to say there is a possibility of recovery here. There are a number of lawsuits filed against the NFL and helmet manufacturing companies concerning player safety. We'll be following the story in the upcoming months. Back to you, Karis and Erica.
Thanks, Ashton.
In entertainment news, it's Oscar weekend. The silent film The Artist, George Clooney in The Descendants, and Viola Davis in The Help are all award show favorites. Who will take home the coveted Oscars, though? We'll find out on Sunday. And coming up, we'll have your sports and weather, but first check in at Loyola University with Shazia's Scoop.
Hey Loyola, it's another fantastic Friday here on campus. This is Shazia Scoop filling you in on the latest Loyola happenings. Looking to add some mystery, surprise, and decadence to your evening? All freshmen are invited to attend Loyola's 5th annual Masquerade Ball, so put on your mask and head over to Regents Hall at 8 o'clock tonight. If you're looking for something a little more mellow, grab friends and head to Crown Center for a 9 o'clock screening of Hugo. Support your school, sport red and yellow, and head out to watch our Ramblers men's basketball team this Saturday for their final regular season home game. The game against Milwaukee starts at 3 o'clock in Gentile Arena. Apartment searching can be stressful, but an off-campus living seminar could calm your nerves. So grab your future roomies, a notebook, and head to the 4th floor of the IC Sunday at 5 o'clock. That's all for today, Loyola. Check back Monday to get the latest campus happenings. This is Shazia Scoop for WLUW 88.7. Have a great weekend, Ramblers.
Thanks, Shazia.
In sports, the Blackhawks lost to the Dallas Stars 3-1 last night. Captain Jonathan Toews is out with an upper body injury. He will not make the trip out west for the team's next 2 games. In college basketball, the Loyola men's team lost to Green Bay 73-70. This is their second loss in overtime this week. In weather, the worst is over. Few snow showers will stick around throughout the day. The high today is 36 degrees, and tonight will get down to the low 20s.
And finally, a very happy birthday to Mr. Potato Head, who turned 60 this month. This hot potato came onto the scene in 1952, and more than 100 million have been sold since. With more than 350 interchangeable parts, Mr. Potato Head has more accessories than most girls at Loyola. That's all for Lunchtime News on WLUW 88.7. I'm Karis Hustad.
And I'm Erica Angelis. Have a great weekend.